All right, everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing two what ifs, which is this one right now. What if Deku was the God of War, Part Two or Part Three? I forgot which one. Wait, I did Part One yesterday. Okay, so this is Part Two, and also I'm going to be doing what if Deku was called uh was called what if Deku held up the mantle of Kick-Ass? Meaning, what if Deku became the new Kick-Ass? Alright? Which, this is for somebody I know, alright? Like I said in my previous what if, this is gonna be for somebody I care for somebody I cared about a long time. Somebody who I like. It's kind of hard to tell her stuff. That's not the point. Is what I'm doing. I'm gonna be doing that. But anyway, where we last left off, I think Deku was called kissed Dashiro, and he also kissed Katsuki. And let's see. So three of them are going out. The funny thing is they're still not like all the way freaking besties. It's still gonna take a while just for them to like automatically be like, I don't know. It's like they're friends and all. They're friendly with each other, but when it comes to like being next to Deku, there's like, she's gonna be trying to be sneaky, but snake she is. Oh yeah, this old cat's trying to get her claws on top of him. And where's Kratos is in all this? Well, Kratos left a bit of his soul in Deku, which technically is a possibility due to the fact that Kratos can see freaking Athena, or I forgot what her name was, but I think Athena was it. And because I think she stabbed him in the very end with the sword, and the sword like lost all of its magic, I think. So yeah. Anyway, Kratos is in his mindscape just thinking to himself, well, he is pretty much okay. Him committing suicide, as they call it nowadays, has gotten him very lucky now. I guess dying does have its benefits in this life, and he's thinking about freaking all the times that well, not all the times that he was with his brother, the time that he shared in the end with his mom, the time with his daughter, the times that he had with his wife, and the times he also had with his new wife. He's just thinking that, well, at least they're at a better place. And yeah, that's pretty much it right there. So Deku doesn't know this just yet. Let's say in the, I'll go on with the story right now. Anyway, so that happens, and the days go by, and Deku comes back to school. Everybody's shocked. Like, the moment they look at this dude, this is like a different person. Ash white skin, a red tattoo, which, you know what? Somebody in the comments said to do like that, to do the red tattoo. It's like, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you're kind of right. The red tattoo does look better than a green tattoo. And you know what? We're doing this. Deku is going to have lightning, soul rendering, or he's going to have the soul power. He's also going to have freaking he's also gonna have the soul. Not the soul. He's also gonna have fire and lightning, and also ice, with also wind as his elements. Because I'm also gonna put in like the one in the games from God of War 1, or not 1, Ascension. He's also gonna have that, and he's also probably gonna have. I forgot what it was, but Kratos can make two of himself. One's pitch black, and it's kind of like freaking what's that move called? It's like the Shadow Clone, in a way, or not the Shadow Clone, like the I forgot what it was. When he switches himself out with a log, I forgot what it was, but instead of switching out with a log, he's gonna switch out with a double. And you know what? We're gonna give him the bear claws or the bear fists, because that was awesome. Like that was the awesomest weapons that I've seen. And he's not gonna have the sword, like the long sword, because he didn't take it with him because of freaking Athena stabbing him with. No, wait, he stabs him with it. I think she lets it go. So you know what? We're giving him the sword too. All right then. Let's see. He's not gonna have it all in the bat. You know, it's going to be. He's gonna have it, but it's just locked in somewhere in his in a pocket dimension that he doesn't even know he has. But he does have a sword with him that he somehow brought back, which plot just right there. He doesn't know that he just had his sword, but he's also gonna have Kratos like shield, like in the game. But I'm not gonna give him the bow. That was Atreus' bow. So yeah. Also, let's cut back to like the previous days of before him coming to school. Katsuki sees his arms and says, "Wait a minute, Deku, why are your arms like this? They look like some chains were wrapped around it. Is there something keeping from me?" And Ashido's like, "Yeah, what's all this about?" And he's all like, well, I did, my quirk did somehow awaken, and my body felt this burning sensation that were in my arms. So probably when it awakened, my arms felt this power within it. Since I don't know the whole thing about this quirk, I'm probably just going to keep figuring it out. But, he's like, I don't like lying too much, but he's lying to make sure that these people don't know anything. And you know what? Deku has his own group, which that most times it not stays in his house. Yeah, so it's the Deku Squad, which the God of War Deku Squad. You know what, Deku Squad. That's good enough. Anyway, everybody looks at him, and Katsuki never actually told Mitsuki. That's the name. Oh, jeez, I did not know what the heck her name was. And then automatically, just like that, boom. Anyway, Katsuki hasn't actually didn't actually tell Deku, Mitsuki, about the whole freaking Deku is alive. So Bakugo didn't know Deku was alive. All they know was that he was dead. And Katsuki has been late saying that she's been with her friends. So Bakugo doesn't know this just yet. Deku goes around and people look at him differently. Or at least due to the fact that he was supposed to be dead. And now people are thinking, wait, he looks different. But I can't place my finger on it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because nobody actually paid attention to Deku as much. They all just looked at him like, okay. So they never actually looked at him perfectly. They just heard, oh, he's quirkless? Yeah, yep. He's, just like, nah. But now because they seen him, like they seen him, they're like, wait a minute, that's the kid. That's the kid who committed suicide. And he's alive? He's Jesus. No, never mind. Anyway, he goes and just says, why are these people staring at me? And he's thinking to himself, well, I am ash white, or I am much more paler. And I do have a tattoo across my face, so yeah, I should have known. And people, some of the, what's called Deku's like freaking goons, let's say like the ones that had like the long fingers and the fat one with wings, they look at, oh, Deku, hey, what's it called, buddy? And Katsuki looks at him and is like, oh no. And she goes in front of these two and says, like with a murderous intent, which isn't actually much, just like saying, back up before I kill you. And Katsuki and the bullies say, alright, whatever. See you later, dork. All both of them laughing. Which Deku actually doesn't actually like notice. All he just knows is the fact that these two were was just talking, but he wasn't paying attention. Like he was in a blank state, just thinking, it's just them. Anyway, I'm hungry. So they go to breakfast, which I don't know. I had breakfast in my school. They're gonna have breakfast in their school. That's the most important meal of the day. Fried chicken? No, not fried chicken. Bacon and eggs with toast on it. Ooh, and melted cheese. He's thinking to himself, that's actually one of my favorite foods. That's simple dishes right there. Anyway, he's eating it, and Bakugo walks past him, but then he stops, which he was just with his like friends, and he sees Deku and is like, like just stuttering, just like Deku. And Deku looks at him. Oh, hi, Kachan. And he's all Katsuki is like, wait a minute, but you committed suicide. And you're white? Well, pale? And wait a minute, you have a tattoo? What's going on here? And Katsuki says, I should have said something, but I was still mad at you, even though you were probably the cause behind all this. Anyway, he lived again. Well, he didn't die. And I took care of him. And I'm still taking care of him and just making sure he's alright. Because of you and what your friends kept doing to him, he jumped. And you should be like effing ashamed of yourself. And Katsuki feels this like sense of relief that he didn't die, but he still feels the guilt of actually doing that. Because, like I said, Katsuki isn't like all around a jerk, but because of the peer pressure that happened, he's like, it's because I was trying to act cool. He could have died. And he just says, I'm sorry, Deku. I didn't mean to do this to you. And Deku's like, there's no reason for you to be sad. You weren't the one who pushed me. I did it myself. I should say thank you. Or, no, he's not going to say that. I should be thankful to you that because of what happened, I awakened my quirk, which I don't know what it is yet. And the fat dude with the wings says, you have a quirk? You think just because you died and you're alive again, that makes you God? Which Deku's in his mind like, oh, technically I am a god, but, you know, I'm not going to tell him that. But he just says, no, it's not that. It's just my body went through some changes. And Katsuki's like, changes? What do you mean? And Deku tells him that his skin transformed into ash white, and he somehow got a tattoo or a marking on him, and he doesn't put in the fact he doesn't tell him the fact that he also has chain marks on him, which Deku's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell him that. Just tell him that this. Deku's like, I don't know what my quirk can do, but I do know that I have a quirk now, nonetheless. And Katsuki is like, yeah, so just leave him alone. And what's called, Katsuki doesn't actually think too much about this, but he's all like, well, at least he's not going to be called. He's not going to be quirkless. He's thinking to himself, well, I have to go. And all he just says is, have a good next day. I'll see you around, Deku. And Deku says, why don't you just sit with us? And he's having like one of his like happy smiles, just like, yeah, just sit with us. And Katsuki says, no, I have something to do, right? Later. And for now, he's just somewhere else. Yeah, school starts. And by that time, they're having a physical. Not having a physical. They're in PE. They're gonna do the physical, like, nah, they're gonna have the physical right now during PE. So everybody is looking at Deku because they're all changing in the changing room. And everybody sees his body tattoo, which is connected to him, and he also sees, and they also see scars on him. They look like blades or like slash attacks, and they also see like what else do they see? They see some like they see he has muscle. Like he doesn't have like he's not like a beefed up dude, but he's like he's thin. He's not thin. He just has his muscles much more noticeable. It's much more defined. Like this dude has been taking steroids for the past couple of days, and he's just been like doing nothing more than just like calisthenics. So yeah, so he looks at least strong. But they're all thinking to themselves, but this is still the same quirkless Deku. Even though he does like have a different like, even though he looks much more different and his body looks much more different, it's still the same Deku. Like nobody's expecting much from the so-called quirkless dude. Oh no! They don't expect nothing like that at all. But Deku doesn't care. He just thinks to himself, alright, so I have to do the jumping, I have to do running, I have to do the throwing, I have to do what's called other stuff. And they're all doing like a jumping thing. They're all jumping. And Deku runs, but he runs faster than like normal people. Like this dude's running like 20 miles per hour, which is actually pretty fast, like a Usain Bolt thing. And he jumps. And let's say that there was 20 meters of like the sand in the outside of the gym. And he jumped around a good 10 meters, so halfway. And everybody's all like, oh, jeez. Which, if you guys don't know what 10 meters is, it's 30 feet. Or I'm actually probably wrong. But wait, 10 times 3, yeah, 30. But it's meters. You know what, let's just say 10 feet. Let's just do 10 feet. Like, it's 20 feet of, like, sand and all that stuff for the jumping thing. So he jumped 10 meters, so halfway, which is still impressive. Everyone's like, oh, gee, okay. You know what? He just wasted all of his energy. And Katsuki sees this, and he's all like, whoa, never seen Deku do this before. Never seen him actually do anything physically. He's probably working out, nothing to worry about. Because he still will look at anybody as a challenge. But it's hard if Deku did have a quirk, it will be kind of different because he would still have thought of him as a worthy ally. So it's kind of weird right now for Bakugo to think. But anyway, Deku, now goes up and does the throwing. No, wait, he does the grip strength test. And let's say it's about 120 pounds of force, which is really good. And everybody's like, oh, okay. Which, they're all doing it. I'm just telling you guys the ones where Deku's in it. I'm not gonna tell you everybody else's. So he does good in that. Let's say he makes it 10th place. No, not 10th place. He makes it like 2nd place against somebody with a speed quirk in the running thing. Now we're in the ball throwing thing. Deku, what's called, gets ready. He starts to get his arm a little winded up. And they're like, alright, let's see what this kid can do. And everybody's all like, oh geez, what's gonna happen here? And he gets, what's called, what does he get again? Jeez. He gets ready, but then he's all like, screw it, just don't throw it as hard as you can. Throw it just a little bit, and he throws it. He gets a good 50 meters. And everybody starts laughing at him. Because he's trying not to show off all of his strength. And people thought to themselves, yeah, this kid doesn't have a quirk. This kid is just what's called got training himself. And we thought, because even if you're strong, like even if you can fight, nobody's gonna care. Like I said, the quirks are like gold to these people. Which, you know what? Give a couple of minutes. Oh, shit's okay. Alright, I'm back. I forgot what I was talking about, but I know that Deku didn't had 50 feet off because he didn't. No, he threw the ball 50 feet up in the air, which was not good. Like, not even good at all. 50 feet, that's like, if he, like I said, no, if what's called 50 feet is like, quirkless people can do that. And since he worked out a lot, no, not worked out a lot, since, well, he did train, like, he did hellish training, so yeah. But because he threw 50 feet, not wanting to show off his true strength, that's when not wanting to show his true strength got everybody to laugh at him. And he's all like, oh, thank God I didn't actually go all the way. I wonder how fast I would have fallen. He just walks away and it's like nothing. And even though Bakugo is like still like the the leader of the Bakugo squad, everybody they still like do whatever they want while still being like because they realize that Bakugo can like beat anybody in that school. So the cronies just do whatever they want and Bakugo doesn't care. So the fat one is like, oh, hey, Deku, I thought you had a quirk. What happened? You just worked out and all. And what? Let me guess, you became much more lighter due to the fact you didn't go to the sun. And let me guess, you got the tattoo because you thought you would look cool, did you? And Deku's like, thinks to himself, did he just mock my father? He still thinks of him as a father. Like, think about it. If you were trained by the God of War and he treated you so well over the past 2,000 years, well, it's kind of hard to explain about the years, but let's say it was like 2,000 years of all that training. It was mostly training, so he didn't actually matured, but he matured to the point where he can let stuff go. Like his depression, all that is mostly just gone. Which, that's like, oh heck yeah, that's a good thing for him. But he's thinking to himself, this jerk, this lowlife piece of scum, just what's called, just bad mouth my father. even though he wasn't my father. I don't care. And he just tries to leave. What's it called? And this is during the time where like the boys and girls started to like were in there, and all of them are like what's called the classes are all in there, and Deku is like trying to make sure he doesn't like go off in a rage. And Zero and Kaminari are right there. It's like, look, man, you don't have to do all this. And Kaminari's are like, yeah, you don't have to do this. This has nothing to do with you. I mean, not that. They would have said, they'll be like, look, just leave him alone. All right, he's been through enough. And Kaminari will be like, yeah, just leave. All right, we don't want any trouble. What's it called? And Katsuki sees what's happening, but she has a bad feeling about this. And Ashido's somewhere else right now. And Deku says, it's alright. I don't care. Right. And Kirishima's on like another part of class. But anyway. Cyril's all like, you sure, bro? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. Don't worry about this. And Deku just tries to leave. But the dude with the long fingers grabs him like, where the heck are you going, nerd? And Bakugo actually left because he didn't want to, like, to deal with Deku or want to... He felt kind of uncomfortable with Deku just being around. But, you know, this story's going to have at least a good happy ending, okay? But nobody's gonna know. So Deku's all like, I want you to leave me alone. And the dude with the wings walks in front of him, or walks up to him, and he punches him in the head. And he says, no, hold on, what were you gonna say? What, you think you're better than us? What, just because you have a little bit more muscle? He's all like, and so I was like, calm down. This doesn't have anything to do with your weight. And he's all like, shut the heck up. Now he would say, shut the hell up. And he says, what are you gonna do now, huh? And he punches him in the head again. And Deku gets mad. And he's keeping it in. He's really keeping it in. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. So then he gets mad and he growls at him like in a low tone. Hold up. Leave. Now. And what's called? And the dude with the long fingers, and the dude with the the wings and the fat dude with the wings, they're much more stronger than Kami. But like I said, Bakugo's still like the alpha male within the what's called Bakugo squad. And there's other people who follow him who are in the squad too. Let's just say one with fire hands, that can heat up people, and one with spikes coming out of his body like thorns, and other ones too. And let's say there's 8 in total, just right there in front of in a circle. And Deku's looking at Zero and Kaminari, and he says, "Hey, Kaminari, let's try to help him out." And they try to grab the dude with the long fingers. Said, "Hey, I think you should just let him go." And the dude with the, let's just say one of the other ones, like punches him in the head, and they start kicking him. Kaminari tries to do something too, but the dude with the thorns, so what's it called, grabs him and starts like poking him with his thorns, which are like little, but they're tiny. Even though they're like smaller than regular thorns, they're still a little long enough to actually pierce and still hurt. Like these things hurt a lot. Like imagine a bee sting or a wasp sting. Kaminari's feeling that right now, and what's called Kaminari doesn't want to use his quirk, but because he doesn't want to hurt Deku or Kaminari, or not Kaminari, Zero. And Katsuki is right there, and she's running towards them, and she starts to try to explode the freaking dude with the wings, and he grabs her, and she actually never actually fought him before, but he's much Katsuki is much more weaker than Bakugo. Like let's say out of 100 on the Bakugo scale, Katsuki is like 64% as strong as him, which is like, no. That's with Bakugo being normal, not like using his rage. So the fat dude with the wings grabs her and says, "Look, little girl, I've been letting you slide with all this because you're the boss's sister. But I think you should leave now." And what's called Katsuki explodes him again. This time putting him much more like effort into it. And he says, "You don't ever use your quirk like Bakugo does, so you don't know his true strength. We fought with him before. And I can tell you right now, from a scale from 1 to 10, you're not even a 0. And punches her straight in the head. And everybody sees this, and what's called Deku is enraged. He goes up to her walking, and the dude's trying to pull. Yeah, that's what. Sorry, I think something was called. Never mind. Anyway, Deku looks at her and he says, "What? What do you want? What's called? Why are you looking so mad now? Huh?" He says, "You and her shouldn't even have lived. Not even your two little pathetic friends right there. You guys shouldn't have ever been born into this world. The strong," what's called, "the strong are always on top, and the weak always feed off the scraps of the strong." And Deku just heard the fact that they shouldn't have ever lived. The people who were in his life, the people who started to make him happy. And he sees her in the ground, and they also see Kaminari and Zero right there getting beaten up. The teachers aren't doing nothing because, like I said, like quirks are everything. Like literally, quirks are everything. Even though Zero and Kaminari don't have like quirks like the 70% of the males. Like I said, they only have enhancements. If they're getting beaten up and they're so weak that they can't protect themselves, then yeah, the teachers aren't going to do nothing. Like this is that kind of world. Like I'm saying, like no matter what you guys say, this is the world of the strong feeding off on the weak, feeding off on the strong. And go on. And go. We go on to now Deku in his mind getting mad and seeing everything. Everything that he had is now being beaten up, being tortured. Because what's called Kaminari sees this because Kaminari is still being held by the freaking Thorn dude, while somebody's kicking him in the stomach, and what's called, you see tears on Deku's eyes, seeing him think to himself, this is I'm going to lose them all. I'm going to lose them all. And then he just comes out and says, how dare you all? You will see the wrath of the God of War himself. And then he just explodes into a fit of rage. What's called, the dude with the fingers can't hold him, and he's burnt. His hands are burning now from the fact that his what's called Deku's aura is now burning up. You can see fire, bits and pieces of fire coming out of his skin, and his skin is turning much more red. Not red as in like Kirishima's hair, but you see it glowing in fire. And what's called, he grabs the dude with the long fingers, and he grabs his hands and he starts swinging it, because his fingers are long and his hands are long, and you see him swinging and swinging and swinging and throwing him 50 meters across the field. And the dude with the spiky hair, the spiky thorns, just says, "All right, that's it. You're gonna feel all this pain." And Deku just gets held by him, and he doesn't actually heat up anymore, because now he's controlled the heat. But his rage is still going on. And Deku says, "That's it. You think this can hurt me? I've been through much more pain than this." And he grabs him, squeezing him. And not only squeezing him, his bones, little by little, you hear cracking. His ribs inside are just being pushed and squeezed. He can't even breathe it right. And then the moment that happens, snap, right there. His whole body is in pain. He snapped this dude's spine in two, which for some reason he's still alive. Well, let's not say let's not say he snapped his spine, but he snapped a lot of his bones, which makes him paralyzed. The other 4 people are trying to like beat him and punch him, but they can't do nothing. This is like this dude. It's like this dude just got on some kind of what's called steroids, and isn't feeling no pain. And he grabs 2 of them, grabs 2 of their heads, and smashes them between each other. And he throws the both of them away. Kaminari, even though he's beaten up, he can see what's happening. Zero can see it too, and Katsuki can see as well. All 3 of them looking at the now sheer power of Deku. Katsuki thinks in her head, what's this power showing? And Kaminari and Sarah are talking to each other. Did he say God of War? What's that? And Sarah's like, I don't know, but what the hell is going on with them? And Deku just gets into a fit of rage. His eyes are now much more red. Not bloodshot, but you can see a fire a passion, a hatred towards all of the people who just kept making them miserable, making him miserable, beating up her friend, his friend, beating up his girlfriend. All you can see is also Mina and Kirishima looking into the windows because somebody just says, "Hey, look, somebody's getting beaten up," and they see this dude with ash skin and what's called with the red tattoo, and they all know this is Deku, but they're wondering to themselves, "Wait a minute, is this the same Deku?" And Kirishima's like, "Wait a minute, this can't be him. There's no way this could be him." And they both, what's called, jump out of the window because they were like in the first story building, like where the track is at. And Kirishima and her run to them. It's gonna take like 30 seconds, but it doesn't matter. What's it called? The fat dude is thinking to himself, "Oh wow, you've beaten them up. You've beaten the ones that are weak. I'm impressed that you can at least beat up the freaking the dude with the fingers. He was pretty tough as well, although he wasn't as tough as me." And all you see is what's called Deku right there. You know how Deku gets into not Deku, Aang from the Avatar gets into that like state of not talking, and his not talking. He gets into that bluish state where he's just right there, not even thinking. And you can hear Deku. You can hear Deku. Well, Deku is like that. All right, Deku's like that, and he looks at him with hatred. And Deku says, "You're next. You're going to feel the pain. I will show you what true torture is. By the time I'm finished with you, you're going to be screaming in agony." And the dude with the wings is like, "You're gonna make me scream?" And I thought I was a comedian. Bring it on. And he runs towards him and says, "I'm gonna show you what a true punch is," and punches Deku right in the freaking chest. And all you see is Deku flying. Because, like I said, like I said before, Bakugo's, what's called cronies are much more stronger. But this dude is much more stronger because he's just like somebody who's gonna train and like show off. He's basically kind of like a Chad, in a way. Just always trying to show off his muscles and his strength. And what's called, he goes like, "Ha, look at that." Even though these what's called pathetic people couldn't face you, it was I that put you back into your place. But you did at least show them a bit of what's called strength. So you know what? I can say, without a doubt, I was impressed. Why don't you just, what's called, get back up, and I could punch you again, and again. And Kirishima is like, "Dude, you have to stop right now." And Mina's like, trying to shoot her freaking acid, but the dude's like right there, like moving around, saying, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Well, beat me to death?" And he grabs what's called Kirishima, which he's in his heart state, and is like, "I don't care if you're in your heart state, even a rock can crack," and starts punching and punching and punching, which Kirishima hasn't gone strong because it's like the 7th grade. So yeah, bad news, I guess, for Kirishima. He hasn't trained, so he can stay in that state for at least a good 15 seconds. Like I said, never trained like super hard with that quirk. He still has black hair. So what's called Ashido tries to like shoot acid at him, but he picks up freaking Kirishima and throws him in front of the acid. And like I said, this is acid, which can burn the skin. And Kirishima is what's called in agony. Like, damn it. Oh, this hurts. And just like that, his freaking, what is that thing called? His body revert back to his skin form instead of his rock form. And Kirishima's on the ground, and you see freaking that dude kicking him in the jaw. Kirishima's blacked out. There's nothing right now that he can do. And Ashido's right there because her friend got splashed with her acid. And she feels scared about this. Scared about this man. And nobody's still doing nothing no matter what. This is how the world is. I'm gonna tell you this right now, even All Might changed. Yeah, if the symbol of peace has changed drastically, yeah, this is until somebody actually does something, this is how the world is now. But he grabs Ashido's horns and punches her in the gut. And he grabs the other part of her horn and he pulls them out. He tries to pull both of them out. Like, say he's pulling one north and one south. And Ashido's screaming in pain. And Katsuki tries to grab him because even though what's called, like I said, they're friendly with each other even if they fight with Deku, but they're still friends, all of them. And Kaminari tries to bite him. And Zero tries to grab him with his tape. But Kaminari, not Kaminari, what's his name? The dude with the wings grabs his foot and picks it up in the air and then like kicks back, kicking Kaminari square in the face, almost snapping his neck. No injuries, but he's knocked out too. And he grabs Zero's tape and he starts pulling it. And pulls it hard. Which is like, it's alright, but the fact that he's pulling a lot out of it, trying to pull out so much, which gives Zero a lot of pain because he hasn't trained with this quirk either. Meaning that these people are feeling pain and nothing's happening. But Deku starts to get up, feeling that pain. And he's like 20 meters away. Because, like I said, super strong. Even though he has wings, yeah, that's how it is. And he also, knocks out, Zero gets knocked out because the pain in his arms were too much. Now, it's just freaking Katsuki and Ashido. And what he does with Katsuki, he punches her square in the face, knocking her out. Like I said, these people, it's like another, well, this is the multiverse of Deku, so that doesn't matter. But he knocks her out. And Ashido splashes some acid into his, like, freaking chest. And he's like, oh, damn it. Oh, you're gonna pay for that. And he grabs it, and now he pulls it much more harder. And he snaps one of her horns, which you hear a scream of like a high-pitched scream, which Bakugo hears. He's like, what the hell is that? And he comes out and he's like going to the room, or he's coming out of the building. But it's taking a while. But Deku saw the whole thing. Not with them, because he got down. So he tries to get back up because he doesn't have the full power of the God of War just yet. But now he's gained some of the abilities of strength. Because it was his first time in the human world to actually like just power up. But he sees Ashido, tears in her eyes, pain, bleeding, because he pulled it out instead of letting it shed. Which Ashido's horns, I think she's able to shed her horns and grow like newer ones. She's bleeding and crying. And the other students didn't care. Like, this is the strong, and they're all weak compared to him, and nobody cares. And Deku sees this, and he says, oh, look at your little friend. And Deku is crying, tears in his eyes, seeing that he could have trained harder, but he decided to just let things go. He trained with the God of War, his father, his own father, and he was still weak to protect even his friends. He looks at him. He doesn't care anymore what happens to him. And that's when his tattoo starts glowing much more brighter, much more red. So red at the fact that it doesn't look like skin. It looks just like how a ruby will look in the sun, shiny. His eyes are now much more enraged. His teeth are showing, baring like an animal. Him running towards him, punching him square in the face, even though he's not very strong. Because he doesn't have all that strength of the God of War just yet. As sad as this is, he's not going to have that much strength in him right now. He's got to train again, like Kratos has done in each of the God of War games, reclaiming that bit of strength and becoming once again the God of War. But he has much more anger, much more hatred. Seeing him cry and saying, how dare you? You will die by my hands. Once I'm done with you, you're going to be crying. You're going to act like a total baby. You're going to see what a lion. He's not going to say that. You're going to see how it feels to be on the other side of hell. And the dude's grabbing him, punching him, and Deku's punching him as well. And this dude can feel Deku's punches, and he's like, this dude's strong. I didn't think that this dude would be what's called this strong. Even though he's worked out, this should be nothing to me. Because he doesn't actually know that Deku is worth much more powerful than any foot. But Deku does get much more stronger, much more faster. And his chains, the arms that had chains on it, or let's see, the one his body that had the chains pop out of his wrists, or his, I don't know how to explain this, but the chains do come on what's called attached to Deku, and these swords are dull, not sharp at all. He needs to have the blood of chaos again, because these are the blades of chaos. But now he has to what's called kill what's called a lot of bad guys, which he's not going to do. But he's hitting him with the blades, and he's wrapping them around the dude and throwing him across the freaking what's called field. And Ashido is trying to hold Deku, but she can't get up right now. But it gives him a few minutes, at least a few minutes, to help his friends. Which Deku knows how to heal people just a little bit, which he's only learned how to do it from having the God of War teach him. And he heals Ashido little by little. Her horn's not coming back, they have to shut, but he's at least stopped the bleeding. Only a little bit. And he holds her and says, "I'm so sorry. I should have did something earlier, but I was trying to keep myself sane. I didn't want to cause pain to others." She says, "It's alright. I'm sorry for trying to get in the way." Or not say that. "I'm sorry that I wasn't here and just to try to help when I could have." Or, no, I don't think she would say that. But she does say, "You don't have to apologize. It's alright." And she's still trying to look up at Deku. And she says, "Just don't die." Because she thinks that Deku's losing. Because she's like kind of knocked out, but she's still trying to like hold her conscience, or not regain conscience, but tries to stay she tries to stay conscious. But Deku's all like, hold on, let's see. Hey, somebody's commenting. I don't know what he was saying. But anyway, she says, "Please, just don't die. The thought of losing you would make me and Katsuki very sad." And he sees the others. And at least Kaminari and freaking Sarah are still like at least okay. But you saw Kirishima right there on the floor, like knocked out, to where his eyes are just like white, like white. And he also sees what's called Katsuki on the floor with her lip busted, her eyes turning swollen, her bleeding. He picks up Ashido and picks her up and walks her to what's called near, or at least far away, not far away, but he puts her somewhere, I don't know where. Let's say it's around the field, but he picks her up and puts her on the edge of the field, so that way he doesn't have to worry about her getting in the way, because like the gang is like somebody's like in a different position and they're all like close to where they're fighting at. He picks up all of them, picks the Kaminari and Zero up and puts them, sitting them down right there. He picks up Kirishima and puts him right there next to Zero, and he picks up Katsuki, putting them next to Ashigo, saying, "You don't have to worry about me. I'm going to do what I should have done." And he kisses her on the cheek, and he kisses Katsuki on her forehead. And he says, "Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Kaminari. Thank you, Kirishima, for helping me. Making sure nothing worse happened to them." And the dude is up again. The dude is up again, saying, "Oh, sheesh. You freaking hurt me." And these things goes up, it doesn't matter. And guess what? The drugs from Overhaul, yeah, these dudes bought some drugs from like people who, it's like some people got this from somebody, like somebody got this drug and this person got the drug from another person, and but it ended up on this dude's hands, and he picks it up and he grabs it and sticks it into his neck, and he feels like this overwhelming like euphoria of happiness, saying, "Oh yes, oh jeez, I didn't think that this drug would actually work. I need to get some more next time." And his wings are much more like defined. They have much more detail into it. His muscles are a bit more. His muscles are 3 times as strong. His freaking what's it called? His freaking tail is longer. Which, yeah, I think he had a tail, and he had horns as well, as far as I know. And he's all like, "Oh, with this power, I'm invincible. I can probably even be stronger than Bakugo. With this, I am supreme." And these drugs actually last for 5 minutes. So he sees what's happening, and he's all like, Deku sees what's happening, and Bakugo sees what's happening. He doesn't see Kirishima, or he doesn't see like the gang, but he sees Deku right there, looking at this dude, going to try. He's gonna kill him. This is the first time ever that we see Deku fight, other than Kratos himself, not having all the power, but strong enough to handle what he's going to do. He calls upon the gods, which is what's called, I don't know, it's like he's doing something that Spartans do. So now he's going to fight him using Spartan combat, which I don't know what it is, but I know that it's basically Kratos kind of fighting. He's saying, I am going to kill you. You who have hurt my friends. You have hurt, what's called, the people I love. You broke even one of their horns. Well, you broke my girlfriend's horn. You punched my girlfriend in the face. You kicked my friends in the faces. You made him, my friend, go through a lot of pain. For defiling them, I will destroy you and break your body. You shall feel pain. You shall die. And I will kill you. Because I am the god of war. Which, yeah, he picked up some of Kratos talking. And he charges up to him, running. He ran 20 miles per hour. He's running 60 miles per hour. Which is like, both of them, this is like a football field in a way. He ran 100 miles. I think that is 100 miles. Let's say the football field is 120 miles or 120 feet. He ran 120 feet under a second, or in just 1 second, and punches this dude right in the gut. Him flying. But Deku runs still, grabbing him and throwing him on the floor, making him bounce, or making this dude rebound up in the sky. And he's not using the swords. No. The swords are for killing villains. This dude is scum. This dude is the purest scum of all. To use the greatest weapons in the history of planet Earth on scum is like a feeling of having what's called. It's a disgusting feeling to have, and the thought of it just makes him want to puke. So he jumps up higher than anybody thought he could and grabs him and throws him all the way to the earth, making a small crater, probably 10 feet in diameter, 5 feet inside the earth. What's called? How else would he do it? Well, the dude's thinking to himself, wait, hold on. What's happening? I thought this dude was quirkless. There's no way. This can't be possible. I took the drugs. I can feel its power. Meaning, this dude, was he lying about having a quirk? I'm probably hallucinating. You got to get your head together, man. Just get together. And Bakugo sees this, and he's scared. He's really scared. Deku is beating up somebody. He jumped 10, 20 feet into the air, slamming this dude down. But not only that, he saw this dude run 120 miles per hour in 1 second, punching him. Katsuki's now thinking to himself, what the hell? Is this Deku's quirk? There's no way. I thought he was probably just having a different kind of quirk. Nah, he wouldn't say that. What would he say? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. This is impossible. He has multiple quirks in one. Super speed, super strength. He can jump high. What else can this guy do? Even Deku. The only person who can do something like this is All Might. And All Might doesn't even tell anybody his quirks, but this dude here, Deku, is changed. I don't have coronavirus though, alright? Don't worry about it. This dude changed. He's not the same Deku I know. It's like by some stroke of luck, by some miracle, this dude is somewhat now reborn. It's like the God. It's like God himself just grabbed him and remolded him, which it's kind of ironic. But now we cut to the fight. Deku is enraged. He was keeping his cool, but no, he's coming in for blood, punching him in the gut. But the dude feels this, his stomach, the muscles in his stomach are torn. He punches him straight in the ribs. All of them are cracked. The more Deku seems to be fighting, the more everything is starting to go bad. Not go. The more he's fighting, the more stronger he's getting. Because his powers are slowly growing again. And all the dude with the wings says, am I going to die? Is this what death feels like? There's no way I'm going to lose from a quirkless person. And he headbutts him with the horns, stabbing him in the eye. And Deku doesn't even care. Even though he can't see with one eye, he's using the other to fight. And the dude grabs his freaking leg and throws him onto the other side of what's called crater. Him trying to run, him trying to fly. But Ashido and Zero are waking up again. Well, not Ashido. Not Ashido, because she's kind of awake, so she's getting back up. She's getting Zero and telling them to get up. Zero's like, oh jeez, what happened? And they see Deku right there, and he's like, wait, what's happening? And Zero and Ashido's like, Zero, I need your tape. I need you to take them up. And Kaminari is waking up and saying, Kaminari is hearing what's happening, even though his eyes are closed. And is saying, I'll help Zero up. And sneak it up. And Katsuki is still knocked out, but she knows she has to get up, but she doesn't know how to get back up due to the fact she's knocked out. She's in her own little world trying to get up, but eventually they try to wake her up, And Kaminari is shocking all of them. The reason why I say this is because when you're shocked, your body starts to get back up. Like it starts to have like a jump start, or like a car that gets jump started. Everybody's jump started up because Kaminari is an idiot, but he's smart, which is somewhat a miracle by the gods. So, anyway, he gets up, and Katsuki is up and saying, I can't feel anything. Oh man, my face feels like a mess. And Kirishima's waking up like, crap, I'm stunned. And Kaminari is like, sorry. But she's learned how to like lower his electricity to a bit. It's pretty nifty when you have to charge your phone. But anyway, they're waking up and saying, what happened? And they all see Deku, and they're all seeing what's he doing. And he's trying to get the freaking dude, but he can't because he's not using his swords. And what's it called? Ashido said, we're gonna use Sero's tape to get him. Even though he's even though he beat us all up, we can still take him. We just have to work as a team. We have to think. Sero says, well, I can use my other arm. My right arm. Let's say I can use my left arm. My right arm feels like hell. I think I can still manage. It's gonna be painful though. Kaminari just says, I could zap him, but then we're all going to be electrocuted. Katsuki gets up and says, oh man, I could fly, but I can't fly like Bakugo, or Katsuki, or she wants to say, she'll say Nichan. So I'm out of the question, and she was like, well, I can become rock, I'm not gonna say that. Well, I can harden myself, and you Moskal can stay on the ground, and you guys can help pull the tape. And they're all running towards him, even though it's hard for them all to run. They're thinking to themselves, oh man, this hurts like a bitch. Running towards him, and they're all right there. Kirishima hardens up, and Sero is being held by him. Kaminari is on one side. Ashido is in the middle. Katsuki is right there. And Deku is right there enraged. And they all see what's happening, trying to grab him. This is his first time becoming actually rage mode. So he can kill anybody right now if he wants to. Or not kill. He can get up and, how would I say this? He would kill, or not that, he would hurt anybody. But he knows he can feel he can feel his friends right there. So he knows not to kill them because he cares about them too much. Which, that could happen, you know. Goku can do that. You know, Goku could actually freaking get enraged and what's it called, and stop himself from killing freaking Gohan. So yeah, he could do that with him too. But anyway, Deku gets ready to try to jump, but he keeps missing because the dude's maneuvering. And he can't jump far away because he feels like if he flies all like so far, then what's it called? His drugs can freaking go and like the drug can stop and he can technically fall down all the way and have himself getting beaten up. So he's trying to wait until what's called Deku calms down, or until he tries to find another way. But Zero shoots the tape, and not only that, he shoots it so fast it looks like a freaking bullet, but then it wraps around the dude's leg. Kirishima holding himself, making sure he doesn't actually let go. Kaminari, Ashido, and freaking Katsuki pulling it, pulling up the tape as fast as they can. But not only that, trying to hurry up because they don't want to actually snap the tape in two. This is when Zero shoots the other part of the tape, and he feels the burning, the pain, the anguish of his tape coming out of his arms, and he's grunting in agony, saying, "Oh, damn it! Oh." But he manages to get all the way over there, and now they're pulling on both ends on the tie, or not the tie. They're pulling both ends of the tape, and freaking Deku sees what's going on. Sees what's going on, and he grabs the tape and he yanks it. Which, even though the tape did tear, it was strong enough to pull him down super fast, and he falls down to the ground, and he sees Deku grabbing him by the neck with one hand and punching him in the face so many times. Seeing the pain of Ashido getting her horn pulled, he has another idea. He grabs him by his horns, and not even 5 seconds later, both the horns are snapped in two, and this dude is yelling in agony. He's crying. He now knows what Deku was saying when he said he was going to make him feel like he should have. Not that. He was going to make him feel. Wait a minute. He knows what Deku meant by, "I'm going to make you feel like you're in hell." He's in a hell right now with somebody who can literally kill him if he wants to. And he grabs the two freaking horns and was about to stab him when Katsuki and Ashido hold him tightly, and Kirishima holding him tightly too on his legs, and the others are pulling him, saying, "That's enough. You don't have to do this, man. We're okay. Just please don't do anything you might regret." And Katsuki says, crying, "Please, please don't do this. You're better than this. This isn't you. I know that you're in pain right now. I know that you're deep down you're crying. I know that you think this is your fault, but this isn't. You don't have to worry. You just don't have to kill him. And Deku, hearing this, is momentarily stopped with his freaking anger. But then, even though Deku has what's called mastered a lot of his anger, he knows that he couldn't have just what's called mastered his rage state just as easily. Which his rage state takes over him once again and stabs the dude in the freaking kneecaps. This is a rated R. This is rated 18 plus or rated R, right? Rated R. 18 and older. So the dude blacks out and well, he blacks out due to pain and due to all this, due to the fact that he's been through so much pain. He snapped in two and he passes out. Not dead, because Deku knows in the end that death was too good for him. Suffering was the one thing that this dude was going to get. And this dude got it in the very end. Kirishima, Kaminari, Sarah, Mina, Katsuki, and Deku. They all leave. And Kaminari says, well, that was the most interesting day of my life. Which Kirishima hardens what's called his fist and smacks him in the head. Kaminari's like, what the heck, man? And Kirishima's like, please just shut up for today. I have a headache and my face hurts. My back hurts as well. Nina says, I'm sorry, Kirishima, I didn't mean to. And he's like, don't worry about that. And yeah, that's it. They go home. What's called? Nobody actually calls the 911 because nobody cares. But the nurses do find out that he's been injured, so they take care of him. But if it was a quirkless person, forget it. They would just probably just leave him right there. Like, oh, let's see how long this thing will live. Anyway, they all go to Deku's place, which is now much more better. It has like a freaking, it's like a 50-inch TV right there, a couch which can turn to a bed, and the rooms are much more better. There's three beds in the master bedroom. Deku still sleeps in his room, and Katsuki and Ashido sometimes sleep with them. And they all saw Deku and they talked to him for a while, telling him, what was that power? And Deku's like, cliffhanger. Anyway, people, I hope you like I hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I know that this was kind of like, you guys were probably thinking, wait, why did he keep saying what's called? Wait a minute, let me just rephrase or something like that. Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, it was hard. It was hard to think, know what was going on. Like I was like thinking, what can I do for this? And I was just making up the story as I go. But I was thinking to myself, this like a fight scene had to happen right now in the 7th grade. And yeah, so Deku is now. We don't know if Deku is going to talk to him. But we know Kratos is going to talk, and this is where the story is going to end right now. I'm going to do one in a little bit. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see ya.